Hi planner friends, today's video will be refilling some ink in my fountain pens. As a disclaimer, I am not an expert at fountain pens, so I'm just doing what I have learned from my current limited experience and knowledge about fountain pens. So this method might not be super accurate, but it works for me. So I am currently planning on refilling this Platinum Century in the Sailor ink, and I bought this from Japan, and this color is called Chushu by Sailor, and I have the default not cartridge, what's it called? Forgot the name. This I didn't change it to the other one where you can like refill it a lot easier. I forgot the name of it, but anyways, I'm currently using this. I'm gonna be taking all the ink and filling this in. But first, normally what you usually want to do is that you want to flush out all the previous ink in the fountain pen, because sometimes ink can get clogged there, and then it can the ink can leak easily. So you won't be, every time when you use all your ink, make sure you clean it. But sometimes when I'm like super lazy, I don't do it. I just like immediately fill up the ink. And to do so, like you would you might have to look online to see how to do it. But for me, if I were to do it, I would like pour water in here, or like clean here, like soak in the water until it clean up, and I use a paper towel or like a towel that you don't really care so much, and you just wipe it down. So let's go ahead and clean the nib up first. Be right back to fill up this water in this container. Okay, I got my water, and I also got my piece of paper, toilet paper, I guess. I mean, it's there, so I could use it right away. So like dip it to get rid of some of the previous ink. I mean, this is not the correct method, just a FYI. This just works for me, and it's called the lazy edition. You're lazy, you don't have time, this is the fastest way to do it, I guess. The proper way is actually like pouring the ink water in this inside the nib. You probably want to use a different tool for that, but I'm too lazy. So hopefully this might help for those who are super lazy as well. So that is as much as I can do for now, and so I'm gonna be using this syringe to refill my ink, and it's really easy to do. All right, so I'm gonna move some of this stuff away. All right, I'm using this color ink, as I mentioned. And what I normally would do is that before I dip my syringe into the bottle, I would push this down, and then I put this whole syringe in, not to all the way to the bottom, but near the top, and then I will release this top, and then it will eventually suck in some ink. But you want to suck the ink slowly in case if it creates some bubble in the syringe. So that's the reason why you want to release it slowly as the ink fills up inside the syringe. So that is one tip that I would suggest doing. All right, so let's hold. Okay, let's do this. So you want to dip it in, but not completely to all the way bottom. You don't really need to. And then you just slowly let go might not be in the ink. Oh no, it's leaking for some reason. I mean, it's letting go. I'm not sure why. Okay, let me try again. All right, so I got not the full syringe, but more than enough. So then after that, I would kind of touch the side, so in case it's excess ink that is still lingering at the end of the syringe. And then you go into the tube all the way to bottom if you can. If not, it's fine. And then you just slowly release the ink in. And you might want to do one more time because it looks like it's only went to halfway, depending on how much your ink can be, your tube can store. All right. Looks like I need to do one more. Maybe not the whole way, the full tube, full syringe, I mean. And then you pour a little bit more. All right, I feel like that is the top. All right, and now just, and the excess ink in the syringe, I will like go into my glass bottle again and kind of slowly release. If you release too fast, it may like, some ink might come out. All right, I'm gonna put this down. I'm gonna touch the side for excess ink. And it's possible that you might accidentally get some ink around your table, so you want to make sure you do, when you refill ink where you don't really care so much of the getting it wet or messy. All right, so once that's done, I would put this back on. Make sure you push it hard so the fountain pen nib is attached to your tube. I'm gonna call it tube. I think there is a proper name. I forgot the name. Okay, and then you twist this, the bottom to close. And you close this, and that's how you do. But I'm gonna clean out this first, this syringe, and I'll be right back. And sometimes there's some ink that's still stuck in the syringe and there's nothing much you can really do. So all you can do is just kind of have to wash it off. So what I normally would do, the water here is useful for that purpose. So I would make sure you close your fountain ink bottle because there's a chance you may accidentally spill it, which I had happen many times to me. Grab your water container, soak this in. You can also do it in the sink too if you like. And then you just like keep on refilling. You can see how it's cleaning out the inside. It's such a waste because there's so much ink inside the syringe, but you can't really do much because it's already like stuck in the syringe. All right, I'm gonna empty the water and refill it and do this a couple more times until this syringe is clean color. Be right back. Alright, so once your syringe is clean, you can actually like take them apart, and again just let it air dry and then put away once it's done. I'm supposed to let the nib dry overnight, but I was too impatient. I wanted to use my pen right away, so I just like put the ink in right away. Alright, so I know some of you have asked like, oh, this one do leak? Like, honestly, if you look closely, it can get a little messy, but it doesn't bother me. I'm almost running out of ink, so I will be refilling this right now. So we use a different ink this time. I'll show you the same process. All right, since it's almost, there's still some ink in here, I'm gonna make sure to shake it to the bottom. Make sure the bottom, and then when I remove it, all right, there's still some ink in here. It doesn't spill. Okay, looks good. What I'm gonna do the same thing about cleaning. Put this, again, this is the lazy edition in terms of cleaning. Don't really need to like clean it too well because I'm still using this ink. I'm just cleaning off any excess ink that is around here. So if I were to do a deep clean, I would leave this, I think it's called cartridge in here, and then I'll be turning the dial to suck in the water and flushing it out. That is the proper way of doing it, but I'm doing the lazy way. This is quickly wiping it down, and then next I'll be grabbing the new ink using the Robert Oyster ink. All right, and then suck in some of the ink and then go in. Oh, I don't realize you're not seeing it. All right, I think that's good. Unfortunately, this one doesn't really. One thing I don't like about this Pilot Kakuno is that this cartridge doesn't take up too much ink. Like doesn't store too much ink, and sometimes I write a lot and then run out ink so fast. All right, so I put away some of the excess ink, and it can get messy, so make sure you have some paper and wet towels, whatnot, to wipe down whenever you encounter some mess. All right, and then you would put this back in, make sure it's tight. All right, it's tight, and then I will put the bottom, close it, and you're ready to. All right, so both of my pens are filled. So this is just cleaned as well, so I'll let it air dry for the day, and then I'll put it away. You can see it can get messy, but it's quite rewarding once it's done. And so let's test out a fountain pen. All right, so you see my fingers is kind of like inked with some fountain pen ink, which is fine because it will eventually go away in a few days. All right, so I'm gonna test this ink out. And it might take some time for it to flow, the ink to flow out, so you kind of have to be patient initially. Okay, I'm gonna use a different planner for now, just to get started with the ink. So you see some of the ink is coming out now. All right. And here is the second fountain pen. All right, nice. So it works now. So that's how I refill some of my ink and clean my fountain pen. I hope that helps. This is the easy and lazy way edition of cleaning your fountain pen. Just note this is not the official way, so do your research before you're doing it, but this works for me. And I hope that helps, and I'll see you next time. Bye, planner friends!